Good morning, everybody. It is January 3rd. And you know what the best part of New Year's is, of entering January? Okay, maybe it's the worst and the best part, but we are all back at zero. It is a clean slate. Is it a fresh start? We have all the opportunity in front of us, but does it make you feel a little queasy? Like, oh, I got to start all the way over. So I'm excited because 2022 and 2023 are behind us. If you are here, you have survived, you have made it. And listen, I do not care what you did in production the last 2 years. I do not care about any of it because the reality is it's a fresh start. It's anybody's game in 2024. It's going to be the people that take on the mentality of I am a hunter. I am into building a career. I'm into building long-term win-win professional relationships that are going to thrive and succeed no matter what market conditions occur. I'm into tracking my standards, my daily activity every day, my attitude, my effort, the momentum that I'm putting out there. That is what a true professional looks like. So it's our last Hitters Club call. I set up this Fanatical Prospecting Challenge 22 weeks ago. I don't know if anybody ever does a 23-week challenge, but I did it on purpose and I did it for myself. I, like you guys, need to be held accountable. And for me to take on a book like Fanatical Prospecting and say, we're going to read a chapter every single week, and I'm going to put out a video about what was in the chapter, and I'm going to lead my sales organization with this every single week. And I'm going to embody what it means to be a fanatical prospector, to put my sales hat on, to be a hunter, has held me accountable to the attitude and the mindsets that I knew we needed over the last 6 months. Okay. Now I think my focus is going to shift. I've currently written a 8-week training course that I'm going to put out there for free because I think our industry really, 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 really needs it right now. And I've just loved connecting with the community. I love finding people who really want to engage, who want to show up and then serve those people. I don't care where you are around the country. I don't care what production you've done. I don't care how much experience you've got. I want to meet the people who want it, who are hungry and who are leaning in. So thank you for being here on January 3rd. What I'm going to do today is give you a little teaser on this training that I'm putting together because I hope it's really beneficial. I believe, I sat to myself and I said, okay, I'm looking to hire a brand new loan officer and I want to help her get from 0 to 25 million. Now, maybe you're not a loan officer on this call. Maybe you're a movie producer like BC. Maybe you're a realtor like Penny. No matter what, building a business is the same thing. It is figuring out what is the path and the process to get there so that you can just show up every day and execute. What is it that we need to do? So the first thing I want to talk about are the 3 S's. The 3 S's come from Tony Robbins. It is your story, it is your state, and it is your strategy. Okay. Number 1, you've got to check yourself on your story. What is your story about why you are good at what you do? What is your story about why you're the best at what you do? What are your strengths? What is your past history of overcoming, of being committed, of showing up for people, of solving problems? What is your personal story about you? You need to have a story about you. Number 2, what is your story about your company? About the resources, about your process, about your wow process? Like, what is it that you do on a consistent basis that is going to matter to somebody else? Okay. So what is that story about you? What is that story about your company? And then third is, what is your story about the market? Are you optimistic? Are you excited? Are you believing that there's enough opportunity in business out there to get? Do you believe that this is an incredible time for a first-time home buyer? Do you believe this is an incredible time for an investor? If you don't believe it, you're not going to create inertia and momentum. You're definitely not going to get people to jump on your train, because he or she who has the most conviction, he or she that has the most confidence, is going to be the one that's going to influence people to make decisions. And ultimately, we are salespeople. We get paid to influence. Now, I'm not saying that we get paid to steer people and manipulate people. We get paid to help people move from where they are now to where they want to go. It's got to be in alignment with what they want. So the question is your story powerful? Does your story get you fired up? Are you jumping out of bed? Do you see an opportunity that you are excited about, and do you believe it? Because I can tell within talking to 5 minutes with somebody, maybe even 5 seconds, of is their story positive? Is their story uplifting? Is their story powerful or not? I had a call with a gentleman last, probably 2 weeks ago. And I don't know that he's on this call today, but everything that I talked to him about, he goes, yeah, but, I'm working so hard. I'm doubling down on my effort, but I'm not getting a full greatness tracker. Monday, I know I should call 40 people, but I fall short and I get to like 22. And you know what I said to him? I go, here's your problem. You're trying to be humble, but your humility is actually self-bashing yourself. It's looking for what you're not doing. So stop that stupid humility and start telling yourself, I make progress every day. I get better every day. I am committed. I will win because I'm more committed. I'm scrappier than the next person. Those are empowering stories. So I want you to write those 3 things down. What is my story? Like when I talk to somebody, by the way, I go back to high school and go, you know what? I got straight A's in high school. And it's not because I'm the smartest. It's because I work my freaking ass off and I'm competitive. And the minute that they put those grades on the wall, I had to be at the top of the list. And then I go to college on a scholarship, and then I drop out. And I drop out because I wanted to get going with my life. I wanted to achieve and grow. And I couldn't hang around people that were at cake parties 4 days a week. Like I just didn't fit in. And so I've been kind of that oddball from a very young age. Since 16 years old, I've been going to leadership seminars and reading personal self-help books. And I've been going to sales seminars since I'm 19. Why do I share that with you? It's because I'm obsessed with growth. I'm willing to take risks. I'm willing to bet on myself. And I've got the training for this kind of a market. I want to bring my skills to the table to help you achieve your goals. You guys see how you connect the dots there? So what is your story of perseverance? Were you abandoned as a child? Did you grow up with divorced parents? Did you drop out of high school and have to prove yourself? Did you, get fired from a job and that was the humbling experience that got you to get your stuff together? Did your business fall way backwards? Here's another story of mine. My team did $1 billion in 2018. We did $1 billion in 2019. We did 1.6 billion in 20 and 21. And then we did 750 and 450 million last year. Now I could just be okay with that because it's still pretty damn incredible and special, but that's not who I am. I am never going to be a one-hit wonder. And so now in this new world, I'm going for that billion again. In fact, my 10-year vision is to be at 3.3 billion a year by 2033. That's where I'm going. And I need to help a lot of people become successful in order to hit that goal. Do you guys see why I told that story? Right? That's a story of where we've been and where we're going. So story matters. Number 2, your state. Okay. What is your state? How are you showing up? Are you sucking energy from people or are you giving energy to people? How do you leave people when you go away? You know what your brand is? Like people are talking about personal brand all the time. Personal brand is, what do people say about you when you're not in the room? If they're going to meet you for the first time, what do they expect to experience when they meet you? Some of us have no brand. I don't know. I'm meeting, George, and I know nothing about him. Some people have a positive. Some people have a negative. Some people have be careful with that guy. I don't know about her. She's hot and cold. What do you want people to say about you? Guess what? We get to control that based on how we show up every day. This is why just showing up and doing your best is 90% of the equation. It's why giving yourself to people generously, not sitting there thinking, what are they thinking about me, but actually leaning in and giving to other people. You do that every single day. You know what your brand, what your reputation, what your credibility looks like, what your likability score looks like after 1, 2, 5, 10 years. It's unbelievable. And especially if you give and build goodwill in the marketplace. A lot of people go, what's your strategy for your database? Give value, pour into people, advise people and ask questions without getting annoyed. Because guess what? Everything is special. This moment I'm having with you guys right now is special. I would have dreamed, I would have killed early on in my career to say 50 people are going to show up on a random Wednesday to do sales training with you, Shayla. Like everything that we have right now in our lives right now, guys, we wished at some point in time we would have this. The job that we have, or the relationship that we have, or the car we're driving, or the business that we did, it's special. So is my state showing up that way? Do people feel my gratitude? Do they feel your enthusiasm? Do they feel your intensity and your passion, your commitment? You got to control your state. Now, is it going to naturally happen? Almost never. It is a decision to how you show up. It is I'm stepping onto the field right now. How am I going to show up to this meeting, to time with my kids, to being with my husband? Am I going to click in and be present and all in? Or am I going to be unconscious? Most of the country right now is unconscious. If you guys noticed, you go to a restaurant and the server or they're like there's nobody home. Don't be nobody home, and don't even be lukewarm, but be passionate, be hot. So there's your state. And the last thing is your strategy. So we'll spend a lot of time on strategy. This is my number one strength, is being strategic. It's to say, I got to get to there. Here's all the obstacles that are going to be there. How am I going to get from here to there? What is it that I'm going to do? But you first have to have your story straight, and you got to have the plan, like where you're going to go to then execute on a strategy. Okay. So let's just pretend that you're at zero right now and you want to get to $25 million in business. Okay. $2 million a month. Let's say you're like doing 4 deals. Unless you're Alan, you do a half a deal every month and then you do 25 million. But let's say you're going to do 5 closings a month. Okay. 60 deals in 2024. How many would be okay with 60 deals in 2024? How many are like, I need to double that? Okay. How many are like, I need to quadruple that? By the way, my personal team goal is 100 million. So I need to do that 4 times. I need to do about 20 deals a month in order to hit my personal goal. I've got 4 team loan officers on my team. They each need to be doing 25 million. So this is very appropriate for my team. It's very appropriate for anybody who's at 50 million needs to get to 75, or if you're at 0 and you need to get to 25. Okay. So you need 25 leads a month. What do you consider a lead? What do you consider a lead? I think a lead needs to be a name, a phone number, somebody who's interested in talking to me about mortgages. I don't care if they want to buy in 5 years. I don't care if they've got a 500 credit score. I don't care if they're an investor. I don't even care if they're in a state I'm not licensed in. That's a real lead. Okay. I need 25 leads. That's basically 1 a day. And yes, this is a business where we're working 7 days a week. Yes, this is not the time that we're talking about life balance. Okay. There will come a time when there's life balance. Right now, this is a market that rewards us working in the dark. This is a market that rewards us putting in the effort, being creative, and going all out. Does it mean that you don't manage yourself every single day so you can play like a champion? Yes. You got to get your steps in. You got to get your sleep in. You got to drink your water. I got to drink my mushroom coffee. Like, I want to perform every single freaking day. What about you guys? I don't want to be, stress is not sexy. Okay. So what are you going to do to manage your hormones, to manage your stress, to, be able to do it? You got to figure it out. But are you going to be taking 3-day weekends every week? No, not happening. Do you need to take them strategically to not be burned out? Yes. And you got to know how to do it, but that's playing like a champion. That would be like being a professional hockey player and practicing 7 days a week. That's stupid. Okay. So you need 25 leads a month. If you can get that done working 4 days a week, good on you. Most of us don't know that we want to keep growing. You need 8 pre-approvals a month. You need 8 if you're going to close 5. And a pre-approval, guys, is a real meeting. If you are a realtor, it is a real meeting with a prospective buyer or prospective seller that says, what are your dreams, hopes, and fears? Where do you want to go? Let's talk about what's realistic. Let's talk about the strategy on how we're going to get there. By the way, do your clients have a state, story, and strategy? Yeah, we can find out really quickly. What is their story? What is their story about the market? What is the story about their goals? What is their story about? Do they believe if they're ready, if it's possible? What is their state? Are they freaked out, scared, motivated, excited? What is that? And when we work with them, can we improve their state? And the last thing is, what is their strategy? Why are they hiring us? They need us for the strategy. It's just repeated all over again. So 8 solid meetings where we are reviewing tax returns, talking about the market, showing them loan options, teaching them strategies on how they can proceed forward. And if you are not doing these in person or on Zoom face-to-face, you're blowing it. Stop acting like a call center loan rep. We don't sit under the loan tree and wait for loans to fall out. We have to have real meetings with people to advise them. We have to work on body language. We have to listen. We've got to take notes. We've got to demonstrate. We've got to use all of our technology and tools. Okay. I believe you need 25 referral partners. 25. Now, you could have 25 raving past clients, and that's your 25 partners. You could have 25 business people in your community that look at you as the go-to person. You could have 25 real estate agents. Realtors, you could have 25 different lenders. Okay, I don't care where the referral partners come from. You got to work with where you're at. Some of you have been in the industry 20 years. You could have 5 favorite past clients. You could have 5 business people. You could have 10 real estate agents. You could have 5 builders. I don't care. If you're a brand new loan officer, the easiest business partner referral relationship is a realtor. Why? Because they get paid from the same transaction that we get paid from. They are every day waking up looking for somebody who wants to buy a house. Does a CPA get paid every day by somebody wanting to buy or sell a house? No. Does a financial planner? No. Does our client? No. So I love working with real estate agents because we have an aligned interest. It's an immediate win-win relationship. If I can really help them win, if I can help them get an appointment, if I can help them be more successful, if I can help solve problems and they get paid, then I get paid. And I work really well helping other people get paid, right? So you need 25. Then I think you need to know about 5 people that run organizations that you can speak to. So you need to know like 5 business leaders in your community. They could run car dealerships. They could run any kind of organization, or they're a real estate broker. They're a big team leader. They're a productivity coach. But you need to know like 5 people that are influential, that oversee people, that you can help them. You can come speak to their group. You can give homeownership classes. You can, put on a party for them and their clients, whatever the case might be. But you got to have 5 influential business people that you can partner with. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you this last part and then pause and ask questions. So I think in the next 2 months, I would like to say, no matter where you guys are at, what I'm teaching you is what I want you to add on top of what you already got. Okay. The reason I told you it's good that we all start at 0 is I've got to look at everything that I did in 2023 and expect that it will not duplicate, because I am telling you, the people that were successful in the past may not be the successful people in the future. I don't know who's going to be gritty, who's going to be scrappy, who's going to really lean in. Just because you were good from 2012 to 2021, when rates were going down, when inventory and prices were going up, that does not mean that you're going to be good in this next cycle. So I'm looking for people who are engaged right now. I love you. I don't care. Like I want people that are now. So in the next 2 months, you need to meet 50 business people, 50 referral partners, 50 realtors, 50 financiers, BC, if you're making a movie. 50. How are you going to do it? You need to write that plan. How are you going to do it? I don't know where you live. I don't know what networking affiliations you already have. I don't know what relationships you have and who hosts parties and who hosts different lunches, but you do. You all know the answer. You all know, man, if I really went and had a lunch with that person and he invited me to that thing, whether it's a guy's poker night, whether it's a girl's book club, whether it's a mom's group, I don't care. You would be able to see more people and meet people, but you got to meet 50 new people. Okay. For pretending you're a brand new loan officer, I would say 15 of them, you got to go meet at open houses. Go meet 15 realtors at open houses. I don't care how long you've been doing this. Suck it up. Go on a Saturday or Sunday and go meet a realtor at an open house. Help them gather phone numbers. Help them gather leads. Help them get a deal in escrow from their efforts on a Saturday or Sunday. Let's get back to the basics. All of our partners right now are having a sales struggle. We've got to help them make sales, which means we've got to get in the weeds with them. We might have to door knock with them. We might have to make cold calls with them, whatever we got to do. Will I do that for people? Yeah. If they've got the attitude and effort, I don't care if they're brand spanking new. If they're hungry and excited, I want to be hungry and excited with them. Okay. 15 of them, I'd like you to get referred. So those influential people that you know, you need to ask them for referral. And again, this is your story, right? So if I go to somebody, a partner of mine, and I say, look, I'm trying to double my business this year. The only way I'm going to do it is by finding strategic partners that I can help them be successful. And when they succeed, I succeed. So I need to be really selective of those people who are super hungry, driven, have big goals. I would love a referral from you because I know if you respect somebody and you see talent in them, then I'm going to love them already because I know you have a high bar just like I do. Can you think of one agent that you've seen around the office over the last month that is hungry, that is going for it, that you could just make an introduction to me? Same thing with business people. Hey, who's a business person in this community that you look up to, that's hustling, that's wanting to grow their business, that's wanting to network? Who do you know? People who are driven know other people who are driven. Okay. It's generally a small circle, but we can see each other quickly. We identify and go, ooh, you're one of us. I can see it. And we want to be affiliated with each other. We want positive energy around us. So getting a referral is not hard. Again, what is your story? What is your ask? You need to get 15 names referred to you. Okay. You need to go find 30 people on social media. I know you all are like me and you get stuck in your house, like staring in the bathroom, looking at your phone like this. And then you wake up like 20 minutes later and go, what have I been doing? I have a poll for you all. I need to know this. In the chat, I want you to put, are you Instagram or Facebook? Where do you spend all your time? Or are you TikTok? Where do you spend your time? Where do you get your information? Let's see. Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Annette. This is Facebook, Instagram. All three, Pam. How many hours are you on social media? Instagram, then Facebook, both. Okay, now let's go back. This is really funny. If you're so bold, put your age and then put your social media platform. So I would put 42, almost 43 Instagram. That's what I would say. So here, let's look at this. 38 Instagram, 39 Instagram, 27 Instagram, 43, 61 Facebook, 62, 61 Instagram, 60 Facebook. This is super interesting, isn't it? Both. Instagram to none. Yeah, I love it. LinkedIn, all these people are working and have money are on Instagram, are on LinkedIn. Thank you, Megan, the professional recruiter. That's really powerful. The ones that are working, make money. Now I get LinkedIn, literally, I get notifications in my email like 6 times a day. And I will tell you, Meg, I have not logged into LinkedIn, but maybe once a year. I don't know why. I'm just not there. Facebook, Instagram. What you could do though, is you could hunt for me on LinkedIn, find all my connections and whatever, and then come DM me on Instagram and we would be in conversation in 5 seconds. You know that any one of you DMs me on Instagram, we're talking. That's where I'm living. Now, if you went to my Facebook Messenger, ghost. You won't hear from me for 2 years. So the reason I bring this up is like, we've got these tools. We have to think about them and not take it personally if the tool doesn't work right away, because it is specific to the person. So what I'm seem to be finding is maybe under 50, you're on Instagram. Over 50, maybe you like Facebook a little bit more. And then, I don't know, there's everything else in between. Who knows? But this is good for me because I've actually been thinking about, where do I serve my audience? Do I do it in a Facebook group? Do I do it on an Instagram story? Do I do it in an email box? Does anybody else have these wonders? Like, where the heck am I going to be? So I still haven't figured it out, but you guys helped me a little bit there. My coach yesterday was saying, you got to know your avatar. Who is it that you're talking to? And then that's where you need to be. Okay. I also think you need to be where you like to be. Like, I like being on Instagram. So that's just where I'm going to be. And I know I'm missing a lot of people that I'm not on Facebook and interacting. So there you go. So you need to go find 30 on social media. I do know, like LinkedIn, you can actually search people's hobbies and the things that they like. So if you're a skier, why not search for people who like to ski? That's super easy, right? And then I think you need to know who the top 15, like, you know, Penny, if you're a realtor, like, go look at who won the best of Reno in all the different categories. Those are active businesses that people love or that work their ass off to get votes to get on there, right? You know, people who win the best of, a lot of that is like paid for or bribed or who knows what it is. I don't care. It gives you a good signal of who's active in those business categories, right? So I think that's really important. So you need to get a list and then you need to find a way to put them. For me, I said, I want to know who the top 25 agents are. Like, I need to know who they are because I want to meet people that are driven. That's my story. I'm looking to align with those people. All right. Thanks. Keep the chat going. It's fun. You guys will learn from the chat. I have a hard time staring at that. So I'm going to stop right there. Some of you are going to say, yeah, I've done all this stuff. Nothing is new here. But what I'd like you to put in the chat is like, what have you written down? Look at your notes and what you've just written down. Circle the like 1 or 2 or 3 things that just stood out. Like that you already are like, I'm off the call. It's 30 minutes with Shayla. What was the key takeaway? What do I need to just go do? You all know what you need to do. I don't know why we show up for this shit when we all know what we need to do. I think it's important. Okay, so let's see what everybody types on here. I need to be on Instagram. All right, Alan. I need to meet 50 people. Jeff said metrics, so you need to know your numbers. Meet more people. Okay, tracking, absolutely. So you think you got the plan, but you need to start tracking. Back to the basics. What does that mean, Delia? Come off mute.
It means just going back to doing the things that we did when we first started getting in business, picking up the phone, going out and meeting people, going to open houses, doing our thank yous, our birthday calls, just back to the basics.
So why do you think maybe you haven't done that in the last year? Business was hard in the last year. Why do you think we didn't do that?
I think we just got into a rut, and it was, pulling ourselves out of this COVID mess and just getting out and seeing people again and just living.
Yeah. What about your story though? How was your story different when you first started versus what your story was last year?
Well, my story when I first started, I was young, I was vibrant, I was hungry, I loved my job. I loved new things, getting out and meeting people. And then just being shut in for 2 years was difficult getting back out.
So let me ask you, are you old, dull, and lazy?
No, absolutely not.
Are you still young, vibrant, and hungry?
That I am, even though I'm a grandmother. It's awesome.
Now you just put even though in there. I need you guys to all stop doing that. Like literally, Delia, you need to every day say, I am young, vibrant, and hungry.
I am young, vibrant, and hungry.
There it is. Right? There it is. Thank you for coming off mute. Let me play with you. Annette referred to 15 people. Is that not something you've been doing?
Yeah, that's not something I've been doing. So having 15 people refer me as the professional. So yeah.
Sweet. Let me give you guys the script I gave my team today. So we do a daily hustle call every day of the week, 5 days a week from 10 to 10:45. I get on and I do coaching, inspiration, accountability, whatever for 10, 15 minutes. Then we dial as a team on video, on mute for 30 minutes. Okay. We are salespeople. We dial to book appointments or to generate leads. So at the end of the 30 minutes, I ask everybody, how many calls, how many talk tos, how many leads? Today, the theme of the day is calling our pre-approvals. So here's the script. Portia, it's Shayla over at Gill Mortgage. How are you? You don't have to come off mute. Hey, I'm just calling you because it is only the second day of the year and it's crazy busy. My phone is ringing off the hook. People are coming out of the woodworks. It is just definitely exciting. I think people have new goals, new energy. They see the rates are coming down. I've got clients who now can afford like $50,000 to $75,000 more than when I pre-approved them a few months ago. So I first want to call and just make sure you know that I see you and I'm so excited. I think this is the year you're going to get into a home, whether it's in the next month or 12 months, like we're going to do this. But I also want to call you because I want to make sure that I work with awesome people just like you. And I wanted to see if you know anybody that has that goal, that New Year's resolution that they want to buy a house in 2024, because I don't want them to get missed out. I don't want them to get bombarded or stampeded by all the people coming into the market. I'd love to call them and answer questions or consult or advise them like I've helped you. Do you know anybody else that's like fired up that wants to buy a house in 2024? So here's why this strategy works. I'm not calling and saying, I'm calling to check up on you again. You're pre-approved. Are you buying something? That's too much pressure and it's not fun. What I'm also doing is I'm creating fear of loss. I'm creating competition inside of them because they're going, wait a minute, everyone's coming off the sidelines. It's busy. It's high energy. I'm installing the story in their mind of like, ooh, the market's hot. It's picking up. Things are happening. And that creates internal motivation for them. They have to find their own motivation. And I'm asking for referral to somebody else. So once again, I'm taking the focus off of them to focus on someone else that might be motivated and driven and doesn't want to miss out. Right? What did I thereby do? Mostly what I did is probably raise their own motivation. And are you trying to, I don't know what that is, Alan, but I'll enable you to do what you want. Okay, got it. We got an AI companion joining us. So we're raising the motivation in them. And then it's very easy for them to say, well, gosh, I really should get going, or the last thing you say is, by the way, when was the last time we updated your numbers? I'm not looking at that right now. I just want to make sure I connected with you because it's the beginning of the year. And like, I want to make sure this happens for you. And we make sure your goal is happening. That is how you ask for referrals and also raise the motivation and tell your story to somebody without just directly telling your story. You guys like that strategy? Yeah, it's more roundabout. It's softer, right? How do you go softer? If you haven't done this in a while, call like 10 of your most influential friends and ask them for referral to another business person or to another realtor. Like, Kim, hey, I just have to call you because I'm so excited about my goals in 24. In fact, I'm going for a straight double in my business this year. And I am looking to partner with unbelievably driven real estate agents that are professional, that are just awesome, because I have to help them win and make money before I make money. And so I'm being very careful about who I choose to partner with and work with this year. And because I admire and respect you so much, I would love to know if you know anybody that you think is awesome. Because your vote of confidence in somebody or your vetting of somebody would automatically make them a shoe-in for me, that I would like them if you like them. Do you know any real estate agents that stand out to you? Do you know any business people that stand out to you? Do you do any networking groups? Who do I need to meet? People want to help people that are on a mission. People want to be like helpful. They want to join the party. Okay. So those are 2 scripts on asking for referral. Let's see what else you guys wrote just here. 50 people, meet and engage on Instagram and tracking numbers. Okay. So some of you are going to get mental, like get on Instagram. Like if you just posted like every day for 20 days, now you have a business card, which is your Instagram, and you could stop posting. But if you message me and I don't know who you are, I'm going to go to your Instagram and look, does this person look like a creep? Which, by the way, if every photo you post is of your kids or your dogs or some stupid ass flyer, I don't know who you are. Okay. Like, don't do Instagram if you're going to just post your company's flyers. I can't even see who you are. I don't even know what state you're in. I don't even know where you work. Right. So Ryan, I'm going to pick on you. Ryan reached out to me and said, hey, I've been following you for a while. I'd love to see if we could jump on a call. I'm considering coming to Guild, blah, blah, blah. Well, I went and looked at him and like within 5 seconds, I'm like, this guy looks professional. He's freaking on it. He's cute. He's high energy. Like, yes, here's my link. Let's meet. But if his whole feed was his kids, I'm like, who is Ryan? Where is he? I can't find him. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? So put your damn face out there. Okay. Like we want to be friends with you, not friends with your kid or your dog or the sunset. I want to be friends with you. Okay. So like literally go back through your 2023 and star all your favorite photos of you just doing whatever. And then just post them one a day. No one even goes and reads the freaking comments. No one reads all that shit. I promise you, we are just like scrolling and looking at things and quickly within 6 seconds deciding, is this person a creep or not? Am I right or am I right? Okay. So stop getting mental. Go build your Instagram business card if you're going to DM people and ask them for a meeting. If you don't want to do video, I don't care. I'm just trying to get you to look like not a creep. And that's good. Okay. You also should in your Instagram profile, put like where you work and what you do. Like so many people will hit me up. And I'm like, is this person a loan officer? Are they a realtor? What state are they in? I have no clue. Like it just says their name. I'm like, okay, hi. I mean, it's kind of funny that we don't put some of that basic stuff on there. So contact 50 financiers and distributors in 2 months. Scour my email contacts and find them on social media. Brilliant. Always do research before I do anything. Yep, that's super helpful. John Lemos, let's pick on you. I got sidetracked with shiny objects like social media marketing. So what did you get out of the last 30 minutes that you want to do, John, outside of getting sidetracked?
Just get back to basics. I've been doing open houses for like the last month, just hard. And I actually have met with 4 realtors. Actually, they wanted to meet me. We went to a restaurant and ate. I didn't spend a whole lot, really. It was just lunch. So I got some leads from them. Waiting for that to pan out, but it works actually. Just actually going to open houses and vibing with them. It's good to be back out there.
Yeah. And guess what? I look at your Instagram in 5 seconds and I go, yeah, this guy's active. He's interesting. He looks nice. But you don't have to keep putting all this shit out there. Mortgage myth and all this stuff. I mean, just throw some videos out there, but DMing people to go, hey, you look really cool. Do you have big goals for this year? I'm looking to partner with 15 people that really want to kick some ass. Can we meet?
Right.
That's sales, guys. Can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't care. I'm just looking for a yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or no. Are we a match? Yes or no. Next. That's That's sales, right? And I love that you say I got stuck behind social media marketing because look, you've done it, but you've done it. You've built yourself a postcard or a business card, John. You're legit. Like now just start asking for the appointments. And you could do that on DM because people look at you and go, oh, this guy's active. He looks like he does cool stuff. He looks nice. I see his little picture here. Let me scroll in.
Can I ask a quick question though?
Sure.
As far as following up with these, I have a lot of agents that I'm talking to. I'm trying to add value every week, or do I need to come up with a new product, a new, hey, try this, try that? How do you maintain or build relationships, especially the new ones? How do you keep it going?
Great. That's a good segue for the next thing. So there's 4 steps to a sale. Number 1 is the initial contact. Okay. I'm going to change that to say initial meeting. Because if you didn't have a meeting, we're not going anywhere. Okay. Just a run in with somebody. I call it a hey girl. How many of you guys are guilty of this? I am too. You go to a networking event. You're like, hey girl. Hey bro. What's up? Hey, good to see you. How's the weather? How's the family? Happy New Year. Like that's not going to do shit. Okay. So we literally have to have a real meeting with somebody. In fact, there's people I'm in a relationship with where I'm like, can we start over? Can we have that initial meeting again? By the way, one of them being my sister-in-law. I've committed on my goals to go deeper with my sister-in-law and to build a connection with her. But I'm literally like, and I'm going to say this to her. Hey, Laurel, I want to go back to pretend I'm meeting you for the very first time. Can I just can we just re-meet each other? I want to know everything about your childhood, your hopes, your dreams, your fears, like what you're all about, what your goal, like, where do you want to go? And then we could talk present day and how you're doing. Because otherwise we keep talking present day and I'm kind of fuzzy on the past because whatever, maybe I met you under different circumstances, whatever, but can we have a fresh slate? Would that be okay with you? It's amazing to do that because people love sharing their story. Right. And sometimes we just forget we've been out of relationship for so long. We were so transactional. COVID was COVID. Like whatever excuse you want to put, there doesn't need to be much excuse to say that, like, Michael, I actually really care to know you. Can we just fresh slate it? Like, can we spend like 20, 30 minutes going all the way back and like how you became the Michael you are today? Would that be cool? Would any of you feel offended if I said that to you? Like, let me ask Brian, you and I have known each other because you're friends with my husband initially. We've known each other for, well, I don't know. I've been married almost 15 years. So, but if I said, I'm fuzzy, BC, like, where were you born again? Can we just fresh slate it? Would you be like so offended? Like, what the fuck? You've known me for 15 years?
Absolutely not.
What would you feel?
I'd be like, yeah, did we ever have that conversation? Did we just jump in and go surfing, But yeah, I'd be down.
Okay. We are humans. Treat each moment as special. If people feel special, that this is sacred, that this time together is special, you will be memorable. You will be on the fast track of building real relationships. So John, step 1 is, did we have that kind of a meeting? Now, guess what? It's a fresh slate. I don't know what kind of meetings y'all have been having or what I've all been having. What is your intention starting today in your meetings, in your relationships, in your phone calls, right? Go back to that and just redo it. So initial contact's the first one. If I go fast on an initial meeting, guys, if somebody refers me too fast, we jump right into business. That usually means it takes a lot longer to build a fruitful relationship because I don't really know what it is you want, what bugs you, what your goals are, how we work together. Like, take the time so you can have a deep relationship quickly. The second thing is to build rapport. This is what I just talked to you guys about. Generally, my first question in interview, like, Ryan, where were you born? Where do you fit in birth order? How old are you? Where do you come from? Tell me about your parents. Like, I don't want to just jump into today and what your goals are. Like, I kind of need to know who you are as a person because I only want to do business with people I really, really, really like. How many of you guys are on that same page? Yeah, it sucks otherwise. So I got to figure out, do I really, really like you? Am I bought into your story? What is your story? By the way, if your story is kind of negative and Like, I'm old and dull, Delia. I used to be young and hungry. Boring. Like, I'm over that shit. I want to meet the 82-year-old that is like, baby, I'm young, I'm hungry, I'm doing stuff. That 82-year-old, I'm like, yes, I am in. Right? It's somebody's story. Are we like in on that? Is that an attractive story? So I want to know their story. It's really important. That's building rapport, number 2. Number 3 is asking for the business. So here's where we suck. You've got to gain commitment in a real relationship. Gain commitment. What do you need? What can I provide? If I did this, would it help you with that? How do you want me to follow up with you? Do you think we could try the next 2 buyers together? Do you think you'd be comfortable putting me in front of your employees to do a credit class? Do you see me being somebody that you would refer to anybody who had a real estate question? You got to gain commitment. Otherwise, you're just assuming, and people are just being nice and they don't want to hurt each other's feelings. We're in a world right now, guys, where people just don't really just straight up tell us the truth, because they can just hide behind some keyboard and they can just text. Like, you got to ask, make it a little uncomfortable, because when you get a yes, it's a real yes. Okay. And if they give you a no, next, stop taking it personally. It's maybe the wrong timing. It's not the right fit. Like, celebrate the freaking no, because the quicker you know, the quicker you can move on, right? Instead of leaving here in hope. And the final I'll get to, Annette, is follow up. So John, you asked me about follow up. Well, if I didn't do the first 3 things well, the follow up is going to suck. It's not going to be effective anyways. And I'm not going to feel good doing it. But if I really had a solid meeting with you and I really know you and I built rapport with you and I know what your goals are, and I asked if we could be in business together, and I said, this is what I'm going to do and this is what you're going to do, and we had a commitment, then the follow-up is easy. Yo, Annette, how are you? Where are you at? What sales activities you've been up to? How are you trying to get leads? Where's your business going? Am I asking that for my benefit? No, I'm asking it because I actually care about you. I want to know how you're doing and what you're up to. And people can tell the difference. Am I calling for me? Am I calling for you? Is that clear to everybody? 4 steps: initial contact, initial meeting, right? Initial meeting. Got to have a meeting. Build rapport. Ask for the business. Get a commitment. Gain commitment. Follow up. And follow up, you guys, is all the things. Follow up is, we're friends on social. We're sending a meme to each other. Yes, I'm sending you a new product or program when I get it. Yes, I'm sending you a rad podcast when I read it. Oh, I read this book. You got to read this book. You're coming to an event. We're going to a coffee. I don't know. Like, is it really that hard when you actually like someone and want to do business with them? No. The problem is we've just been transactional and we've been running a bunch of people through this thing. And then, we don't know what to do. Yes, you need a list. Yes, you need to pay attention to having a marketing calendar. Like, I'm going to host an event every single month. It could be a live event or a Zoom event. Yes, I'm going to have different guests come on. If I find really cool authors, or I have a CPA, or I have a gardening specialist, or whatever, like, I'm into connecting people. I'm into helping people succeed. I'm interviewing other successful people, whatever. Like, have something on your calendar you can invite people to. Go to networking events and bring a friend. Never eat alone. Go have breakfast and bring somebody with you. It's really not hard if you've done those couple things well. Now, if somebody gets sour and their story changes and their state changes, next. Right? We can't control that. I can't control if you've gone off the rails. Like, you're in a place of self-doubt. You're like, I can't handle. Like, ooh, did you have a question, Bridget? Okay, you just came on mute. Annette, what was your question? You were going to ask something good.
Yeah. So I don't know how to react to this. I had a really great meeting with an agent. First, I met his son at an open house. So I was out checking out the market, getting out there, and met his son at an open house. Well, dad is a really great agent, does a lot of business, and son is going to take over as CRM. So I met with the son at the open house, had an hour and a half phone call with the father a couple days later, tried to set up a physical meeting with the father. He said, no, I don't really do that. If you want to come to one of my open houses, you can do that. And I said, well, why don't you come and meet me at my office, and then that way we can talk about the CRM, because they weren't utilizing it very well. Needless to say, long story short, I followed up, I've called, I thought I had some really good rapport built up, and they are now ghosting me.
Okay.
So I don't know which way to go now.
Yeah, Jeff says next. I think you gave away the milk for free. Like spending an hour and a half on the phone. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm in sales to book appointments. And I will drive to the other end of town to meet you tonight at 8 p.m. But I'm not going to just sit here for an hour and a half answering all your questions. You're not even getting to read body language. I'm sitting here being a service provider. We're not in a partnership conversation. Like, why do we do a break bread? Well, if we sit over a cup of coffee or a beer, a glass of wine, or a meal, people come to those things thinking I'm going to do something with this person. I don't know about you guys, but I do not accept a meal or coffee with somebody that I don't have a good intention about off the bat. I'm not going to take my time to do that. Okay. So, but if somebody wants to answer all my questions and give up all their time and make it super easy for me to sit in my pajamas and get everything that I need so I can be a taker, I'll be a taker. And that's what he was. He was just a taker. And you gave and gave and gave. But like, no, you need to be a super successful, busy person. 15 minutes, like answer, whet the appetite, book the appointment. You guys, we're in sales for shit's sake, right? Whet the appetite, leave them hanging, get them back. There'd be like me trying to give you 8 weeks of this course I want to give you guys in an hour and going, there it is. You're done. You got everything you could ever need from me. What I'm doing is I'm whetting your appetite. I'm allowing you to see how Shayla is, how I work, how I function, what are some of my concepts, so that you go, I need more of her. And you sign up and come do 8 weeks with me. And then some of you will go, you know what? You're like Meg Bludow, who's in Houston and is like, I need to freaking work for her. Like, I need Shayla a lot in my life. And then you raise your hand and go, can I come to Guild? Can I come work with Shayla? And the rest of you will just kind of stay on the peripheral and get the value that you need. That's where you got to go, Annette. Okay. That was your mistake. Now, if you have a meeting with them and you can't come to an agreement, at least you know, and you move on. Right? And guess what? In a lot of meetings, you don't come to agreement. Would you guys agree? The timing isn't right. What they need, I can't give them. My calendar doesn't provide for it. Who knows? 1,000 things. He might have just been like, well, I really needed help on this one thing, but I'm actually semi-retired in my mind. Or I just signed up with another lender who's paying, $2,000 a month for my Zillow leads. And I really like you, but I have no commitment to you, Annette. You just gave me an hour and a half on the phone. I don't even know your face, like nothing. So get the meeting. Tara, initial meeting, build rapport, gain commitment, follow up. Got it. Need discipline and focus, consistency in the calls, consistency, love the strategy, reevaluate your 25 partners. All right. So this has been valuable. Yes. Okay. Let me outline what I'm going to do over 8 weeks. First, we're going to set the table. So I gave you guys a little bit about story, state, and strategy. I'm going to dial that in for you to actually write these out. I'm going to spend a whole hour saying, okay, what is your story? Let me hear it. Let me critique it. Just like I did with Delia. Those tiny little shifts are massive. It's the tiny tweak of the club that sends the ball into the weeds or sends it right down the fairway. It's those little things that you don't just go, that was a good idea. Like you actually work on it and have it and practice it and do it. Okay. Then we're going to talk about what is your prospecting plan? Like, what do you need to hit every single week of your standards? What is your minimum standard of activity that you're going to do to hit your goals? What do you got to do to get 25 leads a month? What is that going to look like? How do you know when you get to the end of the week that you won the week or you lost the week? How do you track it? The next one I'm going to do is about calendar and self-organization. I hear all the time that people just go, I got to manage my time better. Like, how do you actually bring the goal into self-organization and on the calendar? Then we're going to do a lot on this scripting. I gave you guys 2 scripts today. How to get referrals out of clients you're calling for your pre-approvals, how to get referred to another referral, but obviously there's a bunch more on booking appointments. And then how do you do the appointment? So like now you got someone to meet with you, Annette, you got this dad to meet with you. How do you come in as a power play? Like, hey, this guy's 20 years in the business. He does 25 million. How do I show up to that meeting? What do I say? What am I doing? How do I ask? How do I get somewhere in an hour that's either going to be the start of something fruitful or next, move on? I'm not going to just endlessly follow up, right? And then we're going to talk about the close. Like, how do you ask for the business? Like, what are all the ways that you gain commitment? How do you enroll people into your vision? And then the last bit is all the follow-up, like strategically. When do you do events? How do you do events? What type of events? How do you interact on social? What do you do? What do you do for, mail, call, visit, email, text? Like how do you actually have a wide net with a lot of relationships and show up really powerful in those relationships so that they are fruitful? And then a recap. So that'll be like 8 weeks. What did I miss? I want to know as a final, you guys help me out with my Instagram social. What is the one thing that you go, I need Shayla to help me with this? Write it down because I'll add it in. So if you're like, I love following Shayla, I like coming to this stuff. If I could have her sit in my office for a day and teach me something, what would you want me to teach you? Put it in the chat. Okay. Reconnecting with my database. That's good. Alan, I'm going to be doing that. I'm doing that this year with mine. I have 4,000 people in my database and we're lighting it up. So that'll be good. I'll put that. Laura, can you write all these down for me? Cold calling. I actually like cold calling, Michael. I haven't had to do it for a long time, but I started my career after dropping out of college, cold calling right out of the white pages. So I can give you some cold call scripts. How to be me? Is that Leslie, how to be a bigger version of you, Leslie? Or is it how to be Shayla? You're muted, but I'm laughing at the smiles that are coming off your face. How to prepare chicken soup for lunch. You guys have been looking at my chicken soup, my homemade chicken soup and my beans, my lentils, beans, how to do some macros. Thank you, Jeff, knucklehead. Role playing, okay. Initial cold call to realtor, scripting, ideas for reconnecting. All right, Portia, just do what I said to 3 people. Can we just meet? Like, I want to re-know you. Like, I want to go back 20 years and figure out what you're all about. I'm done being transactional and COVID-y. Like, my New Year's resolution is to have 2 really great conversations a week. And you're somebody I picked. You're very special to me. Like, let's go talk about like where we were born and why we function the way we function. Can we do that? Initial cold calls, scripts, how to meet realtors and get leads, setting up effective CRM campaigns. I need more Shay. Thank you, BC. Perfecting your story, scripts, be real, authentic, having a powerful first meeting, how to be you again. How do you identify prospecting lists? Okay. Gosh, you guys gave us so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Was this a start? Give me a double thumbs up. Was this a start to some of the things you wanted? Was this valuable? Good. If it was valuable, then refer me an amazing loan officer, like best in class, over a DM and Instagram. That's what I'm looking for, is loan officer leads that I can have a conversation about, that can join my network. Was that helpful, showing you a close? That's what I'm looking for. Send me a deal. Okay. Send me a lead. Hey, I love you all. Thank you for being on this prospecting journey with me. This has been an amazing time for me. It always serves me and fires me up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great rest of your day, guys.